heart, and I need y'all to be real, like wrap your arms around me. Y'all okay? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Come on, Goldie.
let me tell y'all what's going on. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
So, I'm black, and I'm unapologetically black, and I do black things, and I wear black things, and I say black things, right? Because I'm black. Recently, I've been reminded how black makes white people uncomfortable. It's real interesting. But I don't think I quite realized how much black made black people uncomfortable. Right? So let me just tell y'all some quick reasons why. I had the honor of being in a room amongst these really politically progressive white women, and it was so great because they wanted to free our wombs, which I'm all down for. Don't tell me to take Tylenol. Yes, right, fight the power. But I'm a womanist, not a feminist. And I'm a womanist because I don't want everything a man has. I want everything a woman deserves, right? So as a black woman, I want to stand next to a black man. I'm not trying to jump in front of him or nothing like that, okay? So there's some philosophical differences between womanism and feminism. Womanism deals with women of color, right? It recognizes that regardless of gender, race will always keep white women privileged. So yeah, you can address women issues, but as long as you're white, you have privilege, right? So womanism is like, oh, how do we deal with the fact that you don't have the privilege that white people have, even white women? So I was with feminists. It was okay, I love everybody standing in a circle. And I was one of few women of color, and they were talking so actively about all of the things we need to do politically. And I just felt like, who is we? Because y'all issues sound very different than what I'm seeing when I go home. Right. And you haven't invited us to the table to have this conversation with you. Now, I'm okay with that because I'm going to have my own conversation without you. But I don't want you to think that your forward movement, vacant of our present, is forward, because it's not. It's just movement. It's not forward movement if we're not there. And so when I tried to be relevant about the issues facing black women, it was real scary. It was like, oh, well, yeah, no, I don't like him, no. And it was like, wait, but let's talk about what black women go through there. It was like, oh, well, yeah. And I was like, but fibroids in it, oh, yeah, no, that's real. This was crazy. One reminder. Then I went and worked with some brothers. They were phenomenal. And I sat down with them and I was talking to them about black women. They were young brothers, and I was like, all right, I'm about to lay it out for you. I went hard. I went maybe too hard with them. And I was like, Isis and Osiris, a set and a czar. We didn't go give them that name. We're lineage. We are brothers and sisters. And they were like, okay. But I gave it to them. I gave them the archetypes of the slave. We watched Roots, okay? It was real. And then I gave them pictures of black leaders and the wives that stood with them to help sustain all the political movement that happened. And these brothers couldn't identify Nelson Mandela or Winnie Mandela. And when we got to El-Hajj El-Malik Shabazz, and I wanted them to say his name because he shares that name with his wife's last name and their children's name, and that's valuable, they said, we don't learn that in school. What are you talking about? We talked about the slave trade. We don't learn that in school. And I was like, who is teaching you? White women. Why would they teach? It's not relevant for them. They don't see how it connects, okay? And I thought that maybe I was tripping and being real radical until the white woman that was in the room afterwards was like, I was a little uncomfortable. I felt like maybe you were saying like, only black men should only date black women. I was so confused because at first it was like, but this wasn't a lesson for you. Your discomfort has nothing to do with what happens with these little black boys. Here's another space for you to be comfortable. It was at that meeting I was at before. women, which is a problem. That's not okay. No. If we do not protect the sanctity of our unions, then we don't have a community anymore. Because when she's in the space and we talking about what we need to survive, if she gets uncomfortable, we got to talk about the conversation. We got to stop this conversation because she's uncomfortable. Oh, that don't work for me. That don't work for me. And so this piece I wrote because that don't work for me. And I'll be real honest with y'all. I had this brother. I'm going to take off my jacket real quick. I got this brother that I grew up with, and he's marrying a white girl. He wear a bow tie. He married white. I was just like, really? And I'm calling out. Like, it's interesting you're marrying a white girl. And he was like, I can't believe you said that. You know she's white. Yeah! Did you know she was white? That's a problem. She knows she white too. And if you can't say nothing about her being white, you probably ain't ready to be married. So this is called White Women Run.
Go ahead, Goldie.
Because I live in D.C. And I live up the street. But you know. And it's crazy to me that you could drive through Edgewood, you could drive through Bennett Terrace, you drive through Martin Luther King Avenue, and it's like a white girl running. Yeah. Just running. Like, doo-doo-doo. I'm done with it, right? So this is called White Women Run. Okay. Amidst the ancestors' voices, prone to make a series of privileged choices, noises, eyes, stares, cares, carelessness. White women run. Through streets run by bastard men, finally finding a space where they gain respect and recognition, and their highest ambition is being feared. Brought up in shame, never guided or reared, so too soon they discover that friends and foes look like one another, and sneakers are on the front line of battling brothers, as bodies hover over in prayer for the life that was prematurely taken, who once again fell into the trend of becoming faceless names. The ones trying to numb the pain by buying, selling, and abusing crack cocaine, only to learn they'll never be able. Unstable are these blocks of concrete. And she runs, unapologetically, breaking the monotony of the street. iPod blaring, Katy Perry just loud enough to drown the horrific sounds of poverty. Babies without food to eat, elders who are growing weak, those who are losing sleep from raising other people's seed, and it really, really bothers me that this route to a premature death, this equation for last breath is not enough to interrupt the much needed stretch for the white women that run, that work to change, but don't move to understand. They try to do this so-called outreach. They're the first ones to sign their name on the list to teach, as if their impact erases the imprint of their ancestors' feet against the necks of this so-called minority, as if their presence offers some type of historical truth. Yo, I am so unimpressed by your Ivy League school giving you the privilege to choose. They're the same who introduced this statistical excuse like, no, it's okay Tyrone can't read, okay? At least he tried. When that shit would never fly. Not in your homes, why should it fly in mine? Y'all, that's why every time I drive past these neighborhoods undergoing so-called transformation, which is just another word for gentrification, the level of aggravation at the things that I see them do. They're playing Russian roulette with our culture, our men and our youth. I dare you to tell the truth that this is nothing more than a game of truth and dare. But when I call you out, oh, I'm being unfair. So you just throw in your sports bra, your gym shorts, and you run, tossing your hair, and you run without a care. And I watch the cold, brisk wind smack the faces of the same women that run the trail of police chases, breaking caution tape that result in chalk traces. And they date raceless in their lines. And they're perfectly fine with believing that they're colorblind, but have yet to see that that's a privilege only inherited to their kind. So they're free to leave behind everything they want to at home. Lace up their Asics and into our ghettos they roam, running, slow, fast, giving it all that she has, running so far from her past with her eyes ahead on her destiny. And it really, really bothers me because this race for equality that they think that we're both in, they have yet to see that the color of their skin allows them to cheat to win. But all of this matching and this mixing, when the trick's in, ask Marcus Dixon what happens when white girls want to fit in, whenever they so choose. See, this decision to help the imperialistically abused does not inspire, nor does it amuse, and don't be confused. I run too, and I jog when necessary. But unlike Becky, Kate, and Mary, I'm not running practicing for a marathon or a race. I'm running making sure I can keep my pace, making sure my stamina is fit. See, I got to be equipped. I don't know how many babies I may have to carry on my back. Harriet Tubman taught me that. That's part of the responsibility of being a woman and being black, but they wouldn't know nothing about that. They're running just as a means of exercise. I'm running to keep a legacy alive. I'm running in places where I live and do my work. So I know the names outside the liquor store and in the church. I know why they mad. I understand why they hurt. I've heard their stories of being displaced. We got similar families, backgrounds, and traits. It's no mistake because we intertwine through our faith. So, to all the white women who teach our kids and go to Africa for fun, those are the white women that run. To the ones who say black men are the best they've ever had, so you yearn to carry his seed as a means of making your pops mad. To the ones that use glue to lock their hair and say they love listening to rap, those are the ones that want the aesthetic, not the responsibility of being black. That if we were to rewind time back and our culture wasn't a popping trend, they wouldn't want so desperately to fit in. This is applicable to all those strangers, colleagues, and even my friends, all that running shit. White girls, that got to end. White girls run,